hear me back in the back? No. Better? Are we on? Bart? Hello? Test. Okay. Now you can hear me back in the back. Awesome. All right. If I get too far away, you may have to give me a signs up. Okay. Thank you. We're gathered here today to join Robert and Michelle. This is probably it's going to be an emotional day for me. I'm sorry. But I hope you'll help me get along. A couple of little announcements that I wanted to make before we really get started. Number one, my mom is joining us via Facebook. Unfortunately, she was FaceTime. I'm sorry, she was not able to be here because she's in the hospital. If you notice iPad moving around a little bit, we're actually FaceTiming with the hospital right now so that she can actually join us. So that's kind of special for all of us in the family, and we appreciate your cooperation. We also had just a short announcement here about pictures following the ceremony. So I want to try to give you a quick explanation. We're going to all go over to the Figge, and we'd like a group photo of everyone who's come and attended on the back steps of the Figge. So as the ushers direct you across to the Figge and in through the main foyer, they're going to be back there and they'll help you see where to go. But we're going to all go outside on those staircase, get a group photo of everybody. And then the lucky folks who are not actually related to either the bars or the carols, you're going to get to be served first, so they'll excuse you from the photos and you can go in and begin to dine. And the Carroll family will gather for anyone who is directly related to Michelle. If you'll just stay for a few moments, and anyone who is directly related to Robert, and there'll be 2 family photos following, and then all of those folks will join. So hope that's clear as mud. And so I'm using a little cheating device here today. Let us join together in celebration in the union of Robert and Michelle. As they enter this milestone of their lives, we bear witness to the magnificence of their love, the openness of their hearts, and their vibrant, willing spirits. Inspired by their love, we ask everybody today to just take a moment and think about rededicating yourselves to the loving relationships that are in your own lives. Over the last 6 years, Robert and Michelle have grown to be better people because they've learned to depend on each other and the power of their love. May I have the rings that symbolize this union? Today, Michelle and Robert come before us to enter into marriage, vowing to be partners through the trials and triumphs of a shared life. They're declaring to each of us that they will stand by each other's side no matter what life brings. At this time, Jill Barr will sing a song for us.
Yeah, I tell you something, I know you understand. When I say that something, I wanna hold your hand. I wanna hold your hand. I wanna hold I touch you, I feel happy inside. It's just a feeling that my love I can't hide, I can't hide, I can't hide. Yeah, you got that something. I hope you'd understand when you say that something. I wanna hold your hand. I wanna hold your hand. I wanna hold your hand. I wanna hold your hand.
Thank you, Jill. That was beautiful. Now, Robert and Michelle would like to honor Robert's mother, who can't be with us here physically, but we carry her in our hearts every day.
Michelle and I would like to acknowledge our parents and thank them for all the lessons and morals that they have taught us.
We thank you for the strength, support, and the sacrifices you made for us. They are not forgotten and did not go unnoticed.
Collectively, you represent the families, the friends, and the traditions that hold Michelle and Robert. You are the foundation that has provided the life lessons that have supported their individual growth. Please confirm your support of this marriage union by answering, "Yes, I do," to the following question. Do you offer your love and support to strengthen their marriage, and will you support them through good times and bad? And now it's time for a father's advice. What does a father say to a daughter and a son on their wedding day? What advice can he offer? I thought long and hard. I thought about talking about religion, how important it is that you know what you believe. Our culture would say, stand for what you believe or fall for anything. And I might offer that stand for what is true or stand deceived. I thought about talking about forgiveness. Unforgiveness is like a bitter poison. Sorry. Can you hear me in the back? Unforgiveness is like a bitter poison, and it eats away at you for years and years. I thought about discussing how inconvenient relationships are. It seems like the things that happen in this life are never convenient. Hospital stays, job changes, relationships seem to always be inconvenient. I thought about warning you to guard your hearts and your partner's hearts, to set boundaries now and stick with them with the fervor. It's good wisdom for a successful marriage. I thought about talking about servanthood, serving your community. Service to your community helps put important things important and helps you put a perspective on what's unimportant. I thought about service to each other. And when you put the other person first, you really try and find true fulfillment in life. I thought about reminding you that character is more important than stuff, and that respect is something to be earned. I thought about how commitment in the face of adversity is important discipline. Decide now. I thought really long about being intentional, about loving and respecting, even when you're not really feeling loved or respected. I thought about discussing discernment, how the importance of events and people's actions are not always readily visible, but they require empathy. I thought about recommending you be generous with humor and laughter, smiles, every day, every hour, every minute, because the time is shorter than what you think. All of this advice would be valuable, all worth investment in your relationship. But there's one piece of advice that I arrived at being the most important. The one thing that has potential of affecting your lives into eternity. The one advice that is radically countercultural. In preparation for that, ponder this. For something to be true, it must be true for all people, at all times, in all places. By its very nature, truth cannot be relative to circumstances, or true for just a few and not for others. For something to be true, it must have been true yesterday, still true today, and true tomorrow. Truth cannot be dependent on my feelings. Truth cannot be pluralistic or contradict itself. Philosophically, consider these two statements. God is responsible for evil in the world. Man is responsible for evil in the world. Both statements can't be true. One is false. You know that I claim to be a Christian. That means I believe that Jesus Christ is God's promise, fulfillment of God's promise. He's the only way to reconcile relationship with God, the author of truth. It means I need to be reconciled because I have personally failed miserably. I've been unforgiving. I've failed at discerning. I've failed at being generous. I've failed at being intentional, being committed. It means that I've fallen short of measuring up to the moral and ethical standards of our God. Most importantly, it means that He still loves me. So with that knowledge of truth, the most valuable advice that I can give you is you start this union. Foster a deep, deep longing to personally know the truth. Michelle and Robert, be committed, be generous, be intentional, Now, Robert and Michelle have written their own vows, and they would like to say them before you. Robert, will you join hands with Michelle? Okay. You should have had this in practice. Robert, if you'll repeat your vows as you place that ring on Michelle's finger.
We kind of had to do the cheat sheets because we knew that we were going to get a little emotional on this. So, I, Robert, give myself to you, Michelle, to be your partner, loving what I know of you, and trusting what I do not yet know. This vow I take will be forever. I promise to devote myself to you. I promise to give my service to you. I promise to love you straightforwardly, without complexity or pride. I promise to love and cherish you through whatever life may bring us. I eagerly look forward to growing together, getting to know the woman that you will become, and falling in love with you a little more every day. It's being a little hot out here. We'll be able to get it on.
Michelle, if you'll place this ring on Robert's finger as you repeat your vows.
Robert, on this day, our wedding day, after all the valuable lessons I've learned from my family and friends throughout my life, I make these promises as your wife and your family for as long as I live. I promise to be your constant support throughout all the good times and the bad. I promise to provide warmth and comfort to you in our home and in our marriage. I promise to be loyal, kind, and faithful to you. I promise to be your best friend, best listener, and partner for life. I promise to love you and care for you each and every day. With my whole heart, I take you as my husband to grow together, struggle together, and celebrate together, and whatever our lives may bring us from this day forward.
And now, it gives me great honor and pleasure, because you have repeated these vows in front of all your friends and families, I pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss.